Today's show is sponsored by our friends at distilleryproducts.com. I could talk about this forever. You already know the drill. If you need awesome laser etch glassware at wholesale prices and you are a bourbon group, you are a store, you're a distillery, you got to talk to the folks at distilleryproducts.com. Reach out to me. I would be happy to get you in touch with them. They have amazing prices and do amazing work at distilleryproducts.com. Today's show is also sponsored by our friends at Orca Coolers. Make this summer the coolest summer ever with Orca. They have something for everyone, from American-made, lifetime guaranteed hardside coolers to stainless steel whiskey barrel tumblers. They're ready to have your name on it. I got a hard cooler, a soft cooler. I got a few of these whiskey barrel tumblers. I'm getting ready to make my barbecues awesome. Use code DADS20 for 20% off of your order at Orca Coolers. That is code DADS20, and you're going to get 20% off, and that actually means something pretty substantial when you go to get a new cooler. So check them out, orcacoolers.com. Use code DADS20 for 20% off. Today's show is also sponsored by our friends at Action 24/7. You want action? Get in on the action with Action 24/7, Tennessee's only sports book by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. And y'all have no idea right now how pumped I am. I know I had big news. I wanted to get it out to you last week, but now this week it's good to go. Use code DADS100 and they will match up to $400 of your first deposit. Same code, more money. Use code DADS100. They will match up to $400 of your deposit. Check it out. There's MLB stuff going on. There is soccer stuff going on. Insurance on all of them. Preds home games. Check out all the specials when you go into the app at action247.com or get the app on your phone. Use code DADS100 and get in on the action. Zeke, you got anything for me tonight? You're consulting your notebook.
Well, I kind of do, actually.
All right, hold on. Let me put my seatbelt on.
So I'm watching the weather this morning, part of my routine. They're talking about this storm coming on, possible tornadoes, this and that, yada, yada, yada. And this guy's talking about people who live on like Cedar Hill Lake or some shit. And he's like, I feel real bad for anybody on the lake on the water. It's about to get really bad. If you've got any friends or anything that live out there, you should reach out to them immediately, try and get them, secure them with you, put them, wherever your safe spot is. They've got about 5 minutes. I'm like, 5 minutes? Where the hell are they going to go in 5 minutes? And you want them to leave wherever they are? Like, even if wherever they are on this boat or the water's not necessarily safe, it's better than being stranded in the middle of this storm. I was like, you just signed a death warrant with these people, you damn idiot.
Well, they're not even going to get the boat started in 5 minutes.
Well, like, even if you're in the marina and you're going to go somewhere, you got about 5 minutes. Get out of there right now. Okay. Whoosh. Oh, shit.
I just picture somebody with a dinghy, the pull start, and it's like the lawnmower pull start to start the boat, and they're sitting there you got 5 minutes.
He was serious too. He's like, you need to reach out to him right now. The storm's going to get really bad. They got about 5 minutes. They're going to have to hurry. I'm like, dude, give up. Just stop. Just tell them to take cover and get as low as they possibly can.
Well, and where's your safe space on a boat? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I think you just refer to houseboats and stuff more so. But.
Yeah, but it's not anchored to there's an anchor that's just weight on the bottom of the lake, but it's not like your house that has a foundation, there's something to anchor to. And
either way, you can tell somebody to go run around in the middle of a storm like a chicken with his head cut off.
I mean, if a tornado gets a houseboat, that houseboat's gone.
What if it gets you standing there holding on to nothing, son?
I mean, I'd rather hold on to a houseboat than nothing, but exactly. I'm just saying, the houseboat is going up. If a tornado comes by.
He's running up the dock with his flip-flops and his ear tube. Oh, God, it's a storm. Whoosh.
At 6 a.m, I'm not wearing flip-flops and an inner tube.
You are in my mind. Inner tube over the shoulder and those little flip-flop shoes.
Wait, you picture me as the Incredible Blob from Billy Madison?
No, it's just like a de facto John running from a boat. It's only going to be in those damn little sandal slider things. And of course, there's going to be an air tube. You're leaving a boat. I don't know. It's the way the brain works.
Is it the Incredible Blob or the Revolting Blob?
I think that was revolting. But you've definitely exceeded an open by now.
I think we both have, buddy. Let's just drink.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards. With me, as always, is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. Hello, Zeke Baker.
What's up, Buttercup?
What are you sniffing right into a microphone?
Well, I thought I had a few seconds because normally you're longer winded than short, so I thought I could sneak that in. So I apologize, but
I always say the same thing to start the show. It's hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards. With me, as always, is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us part of your day. Hello, Zeke.
As we've discussed many times previously, there's a lot of things I just kind of tune out or zone out of, and by the time you're, Zeke turns it off completely out.
I mean, it's very quick there. If you want to hear me ramble, you got to wait a couple more minutes until I start talking about the whiskey.
I was just going to say, dear God, please don't do the example again. We'll all jump.
I'm not going to.
You got 5 minutes. Jump into the eye of the storm.
You got 5 minutes until John's done talking.
No, this is some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the newest release, batch B521.
Wait, that came out of nowhere.
Well, you asked me what I was sniffing.
Oh.
So it wasn't really nowhere. Now who's not paying attention?
You randomly brought that in without a segue. You need a segue. Like, hey, John, you asked me what I was sniffing. I'm actually sniffing what we're drinking tonight, which is the Elijah Craig B521. It's a great release. We're going to drink it.
I'm not the long-winded one of this group. You are. I mean, I might talk and ramble, but that's just a lot of excess words.
I mean, but if you just shout out releases, you might have Tourette's, and like your Tourette's is like Old Tub, B521. Like you just shout random stuff out. I don't know what it means.
I mean, it sounds like a hell of a game of bingo to me. I'd be like, can I get one of each, please?
Everybody wins in that bingo game. So we are drinking, you're right, we are drinking Elijah Craig B521. It is the lowest Elijah Craig barrel proof to date, by the way, at 118.2 proof. The previous was B519 at 122.2. Everybody knows how much they loved B519. The press release here says enclosed is the second edition of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof for 2021 B521 at 118.2 proof. Like each previous edition, this 12-year-old bourbon is non-chill filtered and uncut to preserve all of the natural esters and taste components from the barrel to the bottle. The variance in proof from batch to batch is an exercise for true whiskey aficionados. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof offers an experience to taste the lowest proof yet in the series. As a reminder, the first batch from this year, A121, was 123.6 proof. So thank you so much to Heaven Hill for sending this our way, and Lauren in communications. We really appreciate it. And you should also know that this comes in about $65. The mash bill for Elijah Craig, as you remember, is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. This is a 12-year-old bourbon. I'm done talking.
First thing I wonder, and obviously Heaven Hill doesn't disclose it, at least to my knowledge, they don't. I'm not picking on the proof just because of the proof. I just wonder if, similar to what we've seen with, the stag releases from, Buffalo Trace up the road a bit, you just kind of wonder if they're clearing out, a rick progressively, and if they're working from top to bottom and just pulling some barrels, if that's how this proof kind of ends up where it was, or where it is rather, or if they found specific lots of barrels they really liked and that was the profile they wanted to go with, and the proof just happened to coincidentally be there.
But it's pretty quick to cycle through lower ricks to have the 19 release and the 21 release, all within 2 years, cycle through everything and get to a lower proof again. I mean, it's just got to be pure coincidence, or who knows? Oh,
well, I wasn't necessarily trying to liken it to the 2019. I was just wondering if they kind of saw it coming on because of where they, were just pulling the barrels out of as a progression, or if it was just, they happened to actually, put some random blending thoughts into this and pull some from here, there, and wherever. And then this was just what, happened as I can't think of the word, random, I guess.
That is a great question. We should get Max and Kate back on and ask them. It's about to be Father's Day again. Where's Elijah Craig this year? Come see us. Zeke, you have been sniffing kind of like the dog that you are. What's your nose got yourself into?
I got a dog thing for you, but we can save that for later if you want.
Are you calling my dog Shifty again?
No, so I mean,
No, save it. It's okay. We'll give the people something to look forward to next episode. But I will say that you are an asshole for calling my dog Shifty. So
everyone I've showed a picture to agrees immediately.
The people that you show a picture to that you say, hey, let's troll Edwards. Go along with whatever I say about his dog.
I can't help people agree with me. I just throw it out there for observational purposes.
You're like, hey, if I throw this out to you, will you give Edwards a whole bunch of hell on it?
I mean, if I said both of them were Shifty, that would be me just be blatantly being an asshole and like picking on you for no reason. When you showed me these two dogs, I immediately said, watch out for that little shit right over there. He's Shifty. He's the one that's going to button hook you one day.
Well, the funny thing is Rye is like a big dumb animal and just lovable lug. Doesn't realize how big he is, thinks he's a lap dog, but he's the one who gets the stuff off the counter. And then once he gets it off the counter, Waffle, or the one that Zeke calls Shifty, will tear everything up. So he's the one that waits for Rye to get something on the floor so that he can then rip it up. He seems so innocent, right? Because he seems quiet and he listens to you when you're outside. You say, come here, buddy. He comes right there. You don't have to call him twice. Obeys commands.
That's why he's Shifty. You wouldn't expect it. He's not the one that's like boldly grabbing shit from right in front of your face going, yeah, what you gonna do now? He's the one that when the other one takes the fall, he's reaping the benefits, or he's sneaking stuff around here and there where nobody's looking. I'm telling you, he's going to take a dump on one of your shoes one day, and you're never going to know it till your foot goes in there.
That's why I'm glad I wear boots. He can't reach the top.
Those dogs are tall enough to drop a deuce in your boots, son.
I have some pretty tall boots, son.
Them dogs ain't tiny. You ain't got a chihuahua.
I still think the boots are too tall.
But I'll tell you what, you know they're standing up, and you put one of you damn boots up under it and see whose ass is higher.
That's about the countryest thing you've ever said to me.
I'm just saying.
I said, how about it? How about this? How about you stand next to your boots? You stand up, you put those dogs next to it, you see if they get in those boots. That's what it sounded like.
I mean, unless you're wearing waiter boots, those dogs are tall enough by now. We'll leave it at that.
Anyways, what did you think about this whiskey, Zeke Baker?
Well, I've been trying to nose it for 10 minutes now, and every time I do, you call me out for it.
Well, because you sit there by the microphone, like, hit the mute button. There's a mute button on the bottom of your microphone.
Anyway,
you're like, hey, don't notice me sniffing or anything.
Very quickly, the nose, slight ethanol, kind of like brittle, something along those lines. I mean, it's typical. It's what you expect. Sorry, but nothing here that you wouldn't think was going to be there. I'll leave it at that. Palate-wise, I thought the very tip of the tongue had some corn, but that's almost pretty much like I equated it to the calm before the storm. Might be a little bit with the weather we've had lately, as John mentioned. Definitely by even the mid palate, the oak component of this took over. But it wasn't in a bad way. I thought this was a pretty ideal balance in the terms of the age and the maturation of the oak and the way it's imparted in the juice, and then also the proof of the product. Not to say it's perfect. I did think it was a little starchy and bitter right around that mid palate where the oak really first started to kick in. But it kind of, moves away and does its thing. And by the finish, it's not off-putting or noticeable anymore. I described it as being if you're in the rodeo, it was a big boy, but not untamable.
That's what I've been called.
There's just too many options. I can't even make a joke. You really hit the ADD button on me on that one. Goddamn.
I love what I get you.
It wasn't that. It's just, you talked about the Tourette's thing earlier. Like every direction my mind could go with a joke, it did it once. And I was just like, oh shit, I can't even get one joke out. I got sensory overload there. It was too good of a volleyball lob. It just floats up and you look at it like, oh, I should have spiked that one. Shit, it hit the ground.
Oh, I know. That's why I said I got you. It's like, when you throw that change up and it's 60 miles an hour down the plate after you've just been throwing 98, 99 and the timing's completely way off. The guy goes to swing and still misses. Zeke won't even come back to the microphone after that. So I will just agree with you. The second I took a sip of it, even on the nose, I get a little bit of oak on the nose. It is just an oak bomb. I don't think it's completely bitter, off-putting oak, but it's a little bit more oak than I would love to have in my whiskey. It's a little bit drier. I'm not saying it's bad if you love oak. This is going to be your jam out of the two releases, and it made me want to go back and have the A121 that had a lot more fruit. Now, this one just came out January, and it is 123.6 proof, 61.8% ABV, where the mid-year release was 118.2 proof, 59.18 ABV.
I think the proof actually works well with this. It's such an oak forward product where if this thing's hitting at 125 or higher, it's going to be hot. It's going to be so drying. I don't think you would enjoy the flavors you're getting out of this, but I would honestly have to assume it's just pure coincidence. But the fact that it is that low proof, but so oak forward, it really allows it to be overly enjoyable to me. And I'm with you, I'm not the biggest oak fan in the world, but it randomly kind of backed itself into that one almost,
I agree with you on it. Again, I'm not saying I hate it at all. It's just one of those things where I like the A and the fruitiness of the A a little bit more than this one.
See, I wasn't big on A. I even revisited after we did that show, and it still did not really appeal to me in many directions.
I just revisited it tonight after having this one, and I'm going to stick with an A, and you're probably going to stick with a B, which is par for the course that we're not always going to like the same thing.
Anybody that's listening to us, we're not the biggest oak fans in the world. Don't like sucking on a wet toothpick that's been sitting in bourbon for weeks or something. But I think people are going to see the proof on this and probably be overly upset or dismissive. But I think that does way more for this than you would realize until you taste it. I just feel like if this was higher, you know what I mean? Though it'd be so drying and just like pungent and like starchy and just almost harsh or corrosive to the tongue. Whereas with this, you can really enjoy that oak profile. And like I say, it's not the best thing in the world, but to me, that kind of proof and the amount of age that's in there on the juice from the oak, it just really is in a sweet spot for me.
I'm glad you think that way. I kind of like the sweetness of the A, and it has nothing to do with the proof. I will tell you, I think when it comes to this whiskey, it's a good whiskey. I think it's a great cigar pairing whiskey, and I think that's kind of the mode you're in. Zeke has recently been taking up cigars again. I think this is one of those pours that you sit outside with this B, and you have a cigar, you sit out on the deck for an hour, you enjoy your cigar, you enjoy your pour, you don't have a care in the world. That A just has the fruitiness to me that's more well-rounded. It's not one that I would want to have with a cigar, though. One could argue you could have any whiskey with a cigar, but it's just not what I envision as the cigar pour. So I think everything has its time and place, We're
going to have some fun with these things later in the terms of a blind, I think. Because, we have our fair amounts of variance from time to time, but I think these Elijah Craig barrel proofs, to be for the most part, similar product. The overall change in these can't be more than like 10 or 15% from batch to batch, probably, I would say. But our reactions and preferences have definitely varied, I would think, significantly more than that as we've gone through them over the time.
Totally agree. If you were to actually rank this, I know it doesn't matter. Our tasting notes matter more because discretionary income, everybody's different, blah, 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 blah. Are you a buy, bar, or pass on this?
I'm a buy on this one. Again, I'm not the biggest oak person in the world, but I like the way this, conveys its message, for lack of better words. I think it does what it does well. And if you don't know that the proof is the lowest one they've ever put out, I don't think you would ever have a complaint about it. That being said, I'm sure there'll be plenty of folks that do, but again, just take that part of the equation off the board. I don't have anything to harp about here.
No, and I think it's a mental thing, especially when it's like the lowest proof in the lineup. You're automatically going to be like, it's not going to be good. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't think you need to be 130 proof to be something good when it comes to barrel strength. I do like it. I don't like it as much as some of the other ECs I've had.
Well, people should rethink how they drink and enjoy what they like, John boy.
But at the same time, if you see this retail sitting on a store shelf, you go ahead and get it.
Yeah, I said I was a buy.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
In terms of Heaven Hill on this product, not that I can think of.
We try to have some longer episodes here and there. This one, we're just getting right to the point. So thank you, Heaven Hill.
I tried to tell an extra story and you cut me off.
I know we're saving it. Right now, if you could tell, I hit the wall. My eyes are dragging.
When does this come out? All right, so odds are there'll still be most likely some Old Foe and some Jack, both barrel proof, both picked by Wolfpack, both available only in the DDB Facebook group. I'm guessing by Thursday there's still going to be some left because I'm busy this weekend.
In the middle of this, everyone, we're finishing the last 2 minutes of this on the phone because Zeke had a power surge. What happened?
Thunder Boomer, son.
Interesting. Well, we're happy to have you back. So you said
there'll be some bottles to come out probably over the weekend and whatnot when the world's less hectic for me. So stay peeled for there. We, as always, try to get as many of these out to folks as we can in as fair of a way as possible. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Find us on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Find us wherever you download your podcast. Chances are you already have because you're listening to us right now. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Good old Nashville, Tennessee.
And thank you to Heaven Hill for sending us this again. Cheers.
Ciao.